What's up, YouTube? We are back with another build video. Today we are joining the trend and making a build that a lot of people are making, but our own variation, as you know, that we always do. So today's build, we are going to be making a 6-8 player, which is kind of the meta right now. A lot of people are making 6-8 players, and trust me, after going into the builder and messing around with it and coming up with something I think is pretty amazing, I understand why. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be my next build. This will be the build that I grind next. Out of any other build that I've made, this is it. I'm excited. There's a lot that this build can do, and I change it up a little bit compared to what other people have been able to do. So let's get into it. So this build, I did it a little bit different. Instead of making a small forward who maybe has a little bit better defensive stats, or even a little bit stronger, I also didn't go with the point guard, right, which is more dribbling, maybe even a little bit better shooting. I went with a shooting guard. I felt with the variations and what you're able to do, this was the build that made the most sense for me and the type of player I am. And once I made the build, I mean, trust me, you're going to see. You're going to really understand, all right? So, as I said, a shooting guard, hand, number, all that doesn't matter. Now we get into it. So this is a 6'8", as I said. We went with 186 pounds, and you'll see that as kind of the common weight. And the reason for that is the strength that comes with it, along with the defensive stats, all right? So this has a 6'11 wingspan, so still a pretty big wingspan for this type of build. And the body shape doesn't matter, right? I like the solid because it's just thick enough, like me, without sacrificing anything, right? So you can already see kind of the metrics here, but let's get into a breakdown overall of the metrics and what it has for these attributes, okay? So we're going to start with finishing, as we always do. Based on the finishing, we have 15 badge points for finishing, which you can unlock a tier 3, which on this build, I would most likely do bully. And will make sense why I put the strength up to a 74 to get that. So close shot on this build is a 76, so at 6'8", you're able to make close shots, especially if you're against a similar or shorter player. Driving layup is an 80, which is really good. You're going to unlock a lot of attributes, and plus when we get into the badges, you'll see why an 80 is so beneficial. The driving dunk is an 86. This is the place you want to be if you want to be able to dunk effectively. And then the standing dunk is a 47. This is just based on other things being put up and where it needs to be, also to keep that 15 badge points. All right, so the badges that you're able to unlock for this, we always start tier 3. Bully, which I think is going to be a really good one. It is only bronze, but bronze bully compared to no bully, there's a big difference. Posterizer, you can get on silver. Slithery, you can get on silver. And limitless takeoff on gold. You don't have enough badge points unless you do the +4 into finishing. I'm not the biggest finisher, but I want to be able to finish, right? Over here, we have our tier 2 aerial wizard, which could be an interesting badge for this type of build, but you got fearless finisher, masher, fast twitch. Fearless finisher is really kind of the one you want in here. And then over here, we take a look at, rise up, drop stepper, back down. None of those really matter. Giant slayer is the big one, I think, for tier 1 that you can get. I really like it, along with acrobat, because I like to do spins, hops. I think there's a lot of beneficial to it. Euro steps, and when you're going into the bully as well, having the Euro step along with it really kind of plays a factor into it. So again, we didn't make a finishing build for here, right? This isn't a finishing build, but with 15 badge points, what you can unlock, you can finish. All right. So shooting, this is a big part of this build. So it has only a 77 mid-range, but I think the mid-range tends to get overrated. The main thing for mid-range I think that you need is badge points. That's what mid-range does for you. So having the 77 mid-range is enough to be able to make shots consistently without having to sacrifice other categories. So you're still able to get a lot of badge points for this section without having to sacrifice other spots just to get your mid-range up higher. However, as you see, this build has a 93 pointer at 6'8", a 93 pointer. All right. I'm sorry, but 93 pointer on a 6'8"? Okay, also an 84 free throw. This build is a good rec build. I think you'll be able to do a lot in rec with this build. Also in park, you'll be able to do a ton, obviously, with the the attributes that you're seeing. However, in rec, you want to be able to shoot those free throws. So an 84 free throw is awesome. So 22 badge points to start, with a potential up to 26 with a +4. So pay attention to that as well. Over here, our tier 3 is kind of the normal for shooters, right? Blinders, Deadeye, catch and shoot, limitless range. If you are able to get up to 26, you're clearly able to unlock some of these. But the tier 2 is really interesting because Agent 3, I think for this type of build would be really unique. So being able to get it on gold for only 5 total badge points, I think is really interesting. Corner Specialist, Green Machine, Guard Up, any of these are good badges as well. So you're not going to go wrong with any of the tier 2. Over here, we got Claymore, Amped, only 4 badge points to get it to Hall of Fame. On a 6'8", 93-pointer. Mini Magician, if you are wanting to do some fades, some pull-ups and stuff from the mid-range, you can get it up to gold for only 3. And then Slippery Off-Ball, Claymore, Space Creators, interesting. If you want to do hot backs and shoot it. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. So overall, shooting-wise, you're able to really kind of be a knockdown shooter with a 6'8 build. But sometimes you don't want to just shoot. You want to be able to create a shot. And that's where this playmaking comes in. All right. So this playmaking is almost completely maxed out. The only thing it's not is pass accuracy, only at an 80. I say only at an 80 because the potential is to go up extremely high on this pass accuracy. But an 80 pass accuracy is crazy right now. So you're not seeing a ton of people with super high pass accuracy. And if you are, they're not able to do a whole lot of other stuff too. So you have an 89 ball handle and 80 speed with ball. What that does for you on this build is it unlocks quick first step on Hall of Fame for 6 badge points. Tier 2, Hall of Fame. What are we doing here, man? I mean, this is ridiculous that you were able to do this. Over here, your tier 3 badges obviously are expensive. Plant Breakers, I like Handful Days if you really want to be a dribbler. Unpluckable, of course, is always a good badge. Needle Threader, Vice Grip, Bailout, these are all quality badges as well. And then over here, I think Echo Breaker is not really that great. Dimer could be good if you're, especially if you're playing a lot of rec. Mismatch Expert, I mean, you're not really going to be on a lot of taller unless you get switched on, like in Park. It could be good if you're going to switch on to 6'9" or above, people that they brought into the Park. Hyperdrive can also be good on rec as well. So you're able to unlock a lot of good stuff. And again, 22 to start with, potential up to 26 if you really want to focus on playmaking. If you want to do the +4 here, I personally probably would keep it as this because this is the main badge that I'm going for on this build, which is quick first step. Dribble animations and quick first step. Maybe trying to unlock handle for days as well so I don't get so tired so quick. And then Needle Threader. I mean, those are probably the main 3 I'd want to go for on this. I think Needle Threader is one of the most best bang for your buck badges that there is currently for playmaking. I think Needle Threader is a great badge. It's underrated. And I wish that I could get a Hall of Fame on this type of build. But with your pass accuracy, you're going to have to get that up to a 92 just to be able to get Hall of Fame. And I'm probably never going to have 92 pass accuracy. Okay, so let's go into defense. Defense is probably what I consider the weakest point of this build without it really being super weak. All right, that makes sense? So it's the weakest part of the build without it being super weak. Now, interior defense is only 60. If you are trying to lock down the paint with this build, you got in with the wrong team. Perimeter defense is an 81. Steal is an 82. Both of those are respectable. We'll get into the badges on what you're able to do. And with the strength along with it, you're going to be able to hold your own, especially if you know positioning. Block is a 67. You are going to be able to get some blocks, but that's not going to be your main thing that you're doing. Rebounding is pretty much obsolete, right? You have a 48 defensive rebound, but it doesn't really do anything for you, right? You shouldn't be grabbing boards. And if you do, it's going to be based on your vertical and just your reach that you have with your player. Okay, so badges. You can kiss all these badges right here goodbye. Doesn't matter. You're not going to get them unless you add the +4 into this section, which personally I don't understand why you would. But if you did, that you could unlock some of these badges. You have to get up to 15 to be able to unlock some of these badges, but I wouldn't do it. these aren't worth it on this build. Right here is really kind of these three are where you're going to want to put the majority of these badge points at. I mean, just between these three, that's 10 points right there. So glove, chase down, interceptor. I mean, these are good badges to have for this type of build. And then I would probably focus on menace. And even if you want to be a little toxic, to be honest, look at off-ball pest as a possibility, just to kind of be a little toxic and being able to grab people off ball and being able to really disrupt the movement of people. It's it could be really unique, especially in Hall of Fame. So look at that badge as a possibility. Pick dodger, even brick wall if you want to do it on bronze, just to be able to set quick picks and then move on. I like to do that a lot when I'm playing off ball, when I'm not the center. Be able to run up and just set a quick pick. Even doing it off ball is really unique. And workhorse is a good badge, I think, really for anybody if you're able to get it. But like I said, I would focus on these three badges right here to start with. And then if you're able to core any of them, then you can really kind of explore some of these other badges. All right. So over here, let's look at the physicals. We have an 80 speed on this this build. Now, the top speed is an 80 up to an 84 with the training facility. That's totally respectable. You're able to do a lot. 82 acceleration up to an 86 with the training facility. That's fast enough. I mean, somebody who has a 90 acceleration versus an 86, you're not going to see that much of a difference. And then the acceleration along with the speed with ball, you're going to see a good combination there. Strength, we have it at 74. As I said, that is for bully, but it's also going to factor in on defense as well. So pay attention to that. That could be really beneficial, especially without having to throw too much into defense to be able to you know, overpower it. Verticals at 76, which I think is for a 6'8", you're going to be able to jump significantly high. So a lot of benefit for having that. And stamina's the normal 90 stamina that I normally do. Along with the Gatorade boost, I mean, 90 is plenty for any mode that you want to play. So overall, as I've said on almost every single build, I look to do a little bit of everything. But this build specifically, shooting and playmaking, this is the bread and butter. You're going to be able to create shots. You're going to be able to shoot the ball almost on par with anybody. And you also can still finish. You do have some defense as well. And then along with your physicals that go with it, I mean, 6'8". 6'8". What are we doing here? Okay, what do we do? Did we break the game already? All right, so let's take a look at the takeovers. You can see on mine, I chose limitless range and finishing. I think limitless range along with, you know, the 90 3-point shot. Come on, that's kind of a given. You can also unlock the finishing badges. As you saw, you have the shot creator badges, the shooting badges, and of course the playmaking badges as well. So there's a lot of possibility with this build. I like these two, limitless range and finishing moves, being able to shoot from far away, but then if they're trying to play up on you, you get past them and you do some crazy dunks, layups, all that good stuff. All right, so let's look at the comparisons and what this build is actually called. So for this build, our comparisons are Eddie Jones. Man, Eddie Jones, Zach LaVine, Cade Cunningham. Man, if you guys don't know about Eddie Jones, you were definitely too young. Eddie Jones, dude, he was crazy. He was absolutely crazy. I mean, that dude was fun to watch. So if you have a comparison of Eddie Jones, this is the inside-out shot creator, 6'8" shooting guard. You were going to be playing off ball. You're not going to have to be the ball handler in rec until you want to be the ball handler in rec. So guys, this is a build that can compete with anybody. I'm excited for it. I look forward to grinding it out myself. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the bell for the notifications. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about the build and anything you may change on it. All right, that's it for this one, guys. See you next time.